get this question all the time. How did you know that your husband was the one? So one of the practical ways that I knew was that my husband didn't have these red flags that I seen previously in old relationships. I also glory to God, because I know that me staying in a close relationship with the Lord and reading my word and drawing closer to God through prayer and fasting and all these things absolutely was a major factor in how I knew that my husband was the one. The purpose of this video is to tell you about the red flags. If you are someone of faith, God will give you signs early on that will show you, okay, this person, don't do it. Very simply, like, just don't do it. For example, I'm just going to give some signs. These aren't my red flags. We're going to get there. But some signs, right? If you are going through his phone or things pop up on his phone that you don't agree with, that you don't like, those are red flags. Those are signs that you want to reconsider the relationship or ask questions about what the heck is going on, because those are signs. Another sign might be if you're constantly worried about where this person's whereabouts are or what they're doing. Now, if your trust issues are from the past, that's a different story. But if your trust issues are directly at this person because you've already seen some things that make you uncomfortable, those are signs. Another sign is if you feel like someone is being too pushy, right? They're trying to get you to do things that you're not comfortable with. I mean, this is a huge red flag. And a lot of women think that we can change men, right? And so we dedicate months, maybe even years of our life trying to change somebody. And a lot of times, a lot of women will find out that it's just not going to happen. The best advice that I have is if you see red flags that you're like, oh no, this is too much, someone else, or be single. Being single is better than being with someone who doesn't see your worth. Being with someone who doesn't see your worth will always lead to heartbreak. Rejection is often God's blessing. At the time that you're in a relationship, getting rejected, getting betrayed, getting lied to, getting cheated on, you may not feel like it's God's blessing, but it is. Because in hindsight, all of the times that I've been rejected, lied to, betrayed, it opened my eyes to see that I can't move forward with this person. I removed them from my life. God now blessed me with someone who I don't have to worry about seeing any of those red flags. Let's just get into the 3 red flags that I have for today. Red flag is if someone is coming off as too overly sexual right from the beginning. Very, very touchy, very feely, always wanting to be with you in private, never wanting to go out and do, well, maybe they want to go out and do things, but maybe they want to be alone and Netflix and chill and cuddle. And there's a lot of things wrong with that. But everyone has heard the saying before, why buy the cow when they can get the milk for free? This is such a great concept, and it's so true. And it's a biblical principle, right? Because in the Bible, it says you shouldn't have sex before marriage. And that's like totally unheard of today, but there's a reason for it. Go through the list of reasons why having sex before marriage and very early on in a relationship could cause a lot of problems. Number 1 is because intimacy blinds you. It blinds you from the truth about a person. If you go on dates with them, go to the movies, go out to eat, go bowling, do all these different things, you can see a person in their natural environment. You can see how they respond to the waitress. You can see how they tip the waitress. You can see how they act in traffic. You can see how they act when they don't get their way. You can see if they're getting angry quickly, or if they're slow to anger, or if they're very polite, or if they're not polite, or if they're, you see someone in all these different situations. Without intimacy and with going out and doing normal dating things, you can actually get to know a person, because you will see how they truly act, and you will be able to better determine if that person is compatible with you. But when you start adding in intimacy and all of those things, it becomes very confusing. You begin to be blinded by the intimacy. So it stops you from being able to see the truth about a person. Number 2, being intimate too early makes a guy lose respect for that person really early on. When a person gets what he wants very early on, why continue a serious relationship with someone where I'm getting my free milk, getting what I want? So I can just go talk to other people. I can just go pursue other people, because that girl who's intimate with me is no different than the other girl who's intimate with me. In their mind, why am I going to settle down with anyone when everyone's giving me what I want? But if you come in there not being intimate right away, demanding that you guys just go out on regular dates, talk, get to know each other, he's going to be like, whoa, this girl is different. Some guys, they may get angry. They may get frustrated. Like, why are you not being intimate with me? And may start calling you out of your name and being so upset with you. That's good. At least now, early on, you know, before you get wrapped up, you know that this person's not the one. Because all they cared about was being intimate with you, not getting to know you. So that's good. You want that to happen. It's part of the good thing about holding off. You get to see people's true colors a lot faster because you're clear-headed. Number 3, sex is a very powerful tool. Sex is meant to be in a marriage, right? That's how powerful it is, because sex is meant to bond two people who are never really supposed to be apart. That powerful. It's supposed to bond people who are meant to be together. So the problem is that when you are intimate with someone who you may not be meant to be with long term, the problem is now you have this bond that's so strong that was really only meant for the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. So when that bond is broken through a breakup or cheating or lying or whatever, it hurts like the end of the world, because you were entangled with someone that you were never supposed to really be entangled with. And that creates all sorts of depression, anxiety, stress, and fear. And when you can just avoid all that by not being intimate until you're married, but until you really know that that person is someone you're going to be with for a long time. Number 2 is this Mr. Rebound, lonely type of guy. Mr. Rebound, lonely type of guy is the guy who was literally just in a relationship, and maybe even an intimate one, within 6 months of meeting you. They were already entangled with someone else within the 6 months of them wanting to be with you. That is an issue, because no matter what anyone says, people need time to heal from a relationship, from a breakup, whatever it was. People need time to heal, and quite frankly, 6 months is really not even a long enough time. You want to be careful getting involved with people that were entangled with someone else within 6 months to a year, but most people aren't going to wait that long. But 6 months is a good number, because you want to make sure that they are fully healed and moved on from their previous, because if not, they will just go back to them. That is why a lot of people you see, or a lot of guys you hear of, they may go back to their ex, or they may cheat with their ex, or they may still be talking to their ex, because they are not completely moved on. So you need to figure that out by asking questions. Before you just go Netflix and chill and cuddle in a bed with somebody, go on a real date and say, when's the last time you were in a relationship, an intimate relationship with someone else? And if they say within 6 months of them trying to be with you, then you need to say, whoa, hold on a second. That's a red flag, because they are not going to be over that person no matter how much they try to say they are. Relationships, especially if they're intimate, they get really sticky. They may just bring their baggage into the relationship with you. And the same thing with you. If you were in a relationship with someone within 6 months, or intimate, maybe not in a relationship legitimately, but intimate with somebody within 6 months, you want to consider giving yourself time too, because you're just going to bring your baggage into the relationship. So consider that. Number 3, the third person that would exhibit these red flags is Big Shot, Mr. Ego. He thinks that you're lucky to be with him. You know, he makes all these smart comments of how cool, how awesome, how amazing he is, how you're so lucky to be with him. You can't find nobody like him, and da-da. Give me a break. That's a huge red flag. You want to be with somebody who believes that they are lucky to be with you. Because You're with a guy and they think that you are lucky to be with them, that they will dump you for someone they feel lucky to be with. Be that person that they find extreme value in and that they find that they are so lucky to be with. You want to be that person, because if you're not, they will go find that person that they feel lucky to be with. So you want to be with someone who sees your value, who sees how amazing you are, who asks you questions, who wants to do what you want to do, who wants to have your interests, who has your interest in mind, your desires in mind, who asks you questions, who you're not always the person who's asking questions and trying to get to know them and trying to make something work. You need to be seeing them pursuing you. So if their pursuit is only at 5 now, in a year, the pursuit's going to be 0. They're not even going to give you any respect, any care. So you want to make sure their pursuit's at 10. They want you. They not just want you physically, but they want to get to know you. Like I said, again, the best way to really find this out is by withholding the intimacy. Because if they really want you to get to know you as a person, they won't go try to seek intimacy from someone else just because you said no. They will wait for you because you're someone they really value, respect, and want to be with. So there's so much more I want to say. I'm going to really dive into all these things about relationships, about dating, about red flags. Comment below some of the things you might want to hear about how you can know who's the right one and who's not. And so that you can kind of avoid wasting your time. I feel like that's the main thing about these relationships. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to be in another heartbreak. And you don't want to stick around with someone who's eventually just going to leave you anyway or cheat. I'm going to stick a sign-up sheet below. You're going to click the link below. It's going to direct you to a page where you're going to implement your email. And I'm going to send you information. I feel like relationships are so important. They could be a source of great happiness, great joy, great peace. But then on the flip side, they could be a source of misery, disrespect, and jealousy, and pain, and suffering. So, I want to help us be on this side, where we're joyful, happy, peaceful about our relationships. And so I want to really help women who are struggling in this area. So click the link below. It's going to be awesome. Sharing what I know, tools, tips, tricks, everything I know to help you have successful relationships and avoid the ones that you're just going to waste time with and it's just not going to be worth it. So click the link below and I'll see you soon.